Next meeting, Chairperson, Mr. Anna, and the Desapa is willing to come here and to speak. But it is my short paper. Actually, the program is, the topic of my paper is like Ladakh right from Maharaja Sikkim. Besides this, I'm also talking something about similarities of Ladakh with Sikkim. That's the value of time. So, my paper goes like this today. Ladakh, situated at the crossroads of Central Asia, has attracted numerous scholars and explorers in the past. Due to its close cultural, religious, and geographical affinity with Tibet, the region has long been called Western Tibet. Like many regions of Tibet, the mountains of Ladakh are bare and dry. Unlike the rest of the Himalayan States, very little vegetation grows there. The people cultivate land and rear livestock depending upon the water coming from the high mountains through the ravines. In the past, they produced almost everything for their daily needs except tea, the staple drink to warm the body during long winter months. Similarly, the culture of Ladakh is basically Buddhist. Buddhism reached to the region as early as Emperor Ashoka's time through Kashmir. The remains of stupas, Tibetan Shoten, constructed during the Ashoka's and Kanishka periods are still preserved, and local population worships the stupas by renovating as well as constructing temples in the vicinity of the old ones. Buddhism took firm root in the region with the visit of Buddha Padmasambhava in 7th century. The present population of the region is an amalgam of three distinct ethnic groups: the Mongolian or Tibetan, Drokpa or Durt, and Mon or Mon races. At present, the dominant population of the region is Mongolian or Tibetan. Here in Ladakh, a number of songs are sung extolling the greatness of the race of the first Tibetan king. He is described as a wish-fulfilling tree whose branches and leaves have spread across the vast land. A striking similarities has been found in the Buddhist practices of Ladakh and Sikkim. It is said that during the reign of King Tsering in the 17th century, Guru Padmasambhava blessed the land with a visit. The followers of Tibetan Buddhism addressed and revered Padmasambhava as second Buddha. On a similar line, in both the kingdoms from 15th century onward, the Kadikpa Lamas became root teachers to both the royal family, who gave patronage to the site. The royal families of both Ladakh and Sikkim clan descended from Nyati Zanpo, the first king of Tibet. In Ladakh, Paljibon, a descendant of Nyati Zanpo, became the king of Ladakh in 10th century. Until the 15th century, the king of Gon dynasty ruled over Ladakh for over 400 years. After that, the kings with the surname Namgyal ascended to the throne. The first king in the series was Rinchen Namgyal, whose reign lasted over 30 years. All successive kings of Ladakh till present time were called Namgyal. Similarly, in the year 1657, Khunso Namgyal had been proclaimed the first Maharaja of Sikkim. Namgyal means victorious in Tibetan. After him, all the successive kings of Sikkim, ljons, adopted Namgyal as their surname. Another resemblance between Sikkim and Ladakh is the male dress. In Ladakh, the male dress is called kos or gyalo, while in Sikkim, ko or kos. The same type of ko is the national dress of Mongolia, still worn today. Similarly, in the case of Sikkim, I had the privilege to see last ruler soldier of Sikkim, Padmatundu Namgyal, putting on ko on several occasions. Since it was the dress of their Mongolian king Genghis Khan, it must have been originated in Mongolia and China and reached to Ladakh and Sikkim at the later time. Another similarity between the two regions is the celebration of Losar, the new year on the first day of the 11th month, in accordance with the Tibetan calendar. In Ladakh, when the harvesting is over and the grain crops has been stored for the long winter months, the day for the celebration of New Year approaches. This celebration takes place 2 months prior to the Tibetan Losar, King New Year or Galo, which is usually held in February or March. Regarding Ladakhi celebration of Losar prior to the Tibetan calendar, it is said that once a king of Ladakh had to go on a war to a neighboring district, hence he moved the celebration forward by 2 months so that the soldiers had time to celebrate the New Year with their families. However, the astrologer has different interpretation about the celebration of Losar in Ladakh and Tibet. The astrologer termed Ladakhi Losar as Farmers' New Year, Sonam Losar. They usually take place at the same time as Christmas or New Year celebration in other parts of the world. It may be that this early celebration in Sikkim and Ladakh had some religious or sectarian significance, both being governed by Drukpa kings instead of Drukpa, as in Central Tibet in the 16th century onwards. On the other hand, it is also found recorded that Farmers' New Year, Sonam Losar, is observed in the villages around Shigase in Ngari, which are closest entry point to Tibet from both Ladakh and Sikkim. The Kingdom of Sikkim was protectorate of British government from 1890 until 1947, while in 1834 the Kingdom of Ladakh was annexed to Jammu State. Hence, both the kingdom had easy access to the European explorer of the past. A number of researchers in the field of Tibetan affairs and Buddhists entered Ladakh and carried out extensive research here. And Sikkim, including the surrounding districts such as Kalimpong and Darjeeling, were climatically favorable place for the Europeans interested in the affairs to use as a base point to study trans-Himalayan affairs and Buddhism, as in those days they were not allowed to enter Tibet. Foremost among them was the great Hungarian Roma reporters 1784-1842, the pioneer student of Tibetan studies and national hero of Hungary. Soma studied the Tibetan language in a petty kingdom of Ladakh called Zanskar. Here he compiled the first scientific Tibetan English dictionary and the grammar of Tibetan language. Finally, passing away on April 11, 1842 in Darjeeling. Franke, the companion Tibetan English dictionary, also made Ladakh the base of his studies. On similar lines, other interested explorers, Christian missionaries, and those generally interested in Tibetan culture and civilization visited Ladakh and left important documents on the history and culture. Prominent among them includes Reverend A. William Hale, the first missionary to set up a station in Ladakh, and later to review the well-known Tibetan English dictionary by Rai Satyendra Das, who in 1902 stationed himself in Darjeeling. Chandra Das, however, did not visit Ladakh, but he certainly seems to be impressed and benefited by the works of Yaske and seemed to have consulted the dictionary to cover Ladakh terms. Later, S. Franke, the author of Antiquities of Indian Tibet and A History of Western Tibet, 1907, Captain S. Ramsey, the author of Western Tibet, a practical dictionary of language and customs of the districts included in Ladakh, Bazara, year 1890, and Alexander Cunningham, the author of Ladakh, Physical and Historical, 1853, also had written descriptive information about Ladakh. Ladakh, being a kingdom in the extreme north of the subcontinent, and Sikkim in its eastern side, initially had no direct trade, political or social cultural connection, except through the lamas and pious Buddhists who passed through Sikkim to Lhasa on pilgrimage. However, it is interesting to note that from the 15th century onward, a good number of Lord Drukpa lamas from neighboring kingdom of Bhutan reached Ladakh. One of them was Choje Mozin. According to the head lama of Statna, the lama visited Ladakh on the advice of none other than Nawang, 1594-1651. the Grand Lama and unifier of Bhutan. Upon arrival to Ladakh, the Lama became the root teacher of successive kings and built a temple on the mountain that looked like a tiger. This Goppa was called Stagna, the tiger nose. With that, a tradition of visiting Lamas to Ladakh from Bhutan was established, and the last incarnate Lama from Bhutan to act as the abbot of Stagna Gompa was Choje Jamyang Patkar, who visited Ladakh during the reign of King Himalayan States 1720-1740. A folk song composed in honor of the Lama is very popular. Also, the present head Lama of Stagna is the incarnation of Lama Nawang, a celebrated Lama from Punaka. On the political front, as well as the religious one, the Ladakhi king, including Singye Namgyal, supported Bhutan's policy of resistance against the Gelugpa and granted the Ladakhi part of Nari's Korsum region to Yagdung Nawa Namgyal, despite the opposition of the Tibetan government in Lhasa. King Singye Namgyal even sent a prince to Bhutan, who later succeeded to the seat of Grand Lama of Bhutan. But no such religious or political connection between Sikkim and Ladakh has ever come to light. However, regarding Sikkim's connection with Ladakh, an important document dated 8 June 1911 came to light in the government archives in Leh. In this, the Maharaj Kumar of Sikkim expressed his desire to the government of India in regard to his intention to marry a Buddhist lady of some respectable family from Ladakh. The letter in question, spanning 11 pages in total, revealed the important status of Sikkim as British protectorate kingdom in those days. The first letter in the series written by the Chief Minister, Jammu and Kashmir State, to S. Hafizullah Khan, was his Wazarat Ladakh boast as under. Maharaja Kumar of Sikkim, having expressed his desire to the government of India in regard to his intention to marry a Buddhist lady of some respectable family from Ladakh, the government of India has asked the resident to arrange through Darbar to find out some suitable match for the Maharaj Kumar. The Maharaj Kumar is 34 years of age and is a devout Buddhist and wishes to marry a grown-up Buddhist lady, if possible an English-speaking one. I shall be glad if you will please make a confidential inquiry about the proposed match from Ladakh, Zanskar, Koring, etc., and let me know full particulars about the respectability of the parents, age, etc. of the girl. If possible, a photograph of the girl may be obtained and supplied. The inquiries should be conducted in such a manner that the parents of the girl may not come to know about the matter till it is finally settled. Please see the inquiries are made as secretly as possible, and your reply should reach me before the end of the month. The matter may be treated strictly confidential. After receiving the letter, through the letter, it seems that at that time, the inquiry, the Maharaj Kumar was 34 years old, but his identity is not mentioned. On this, I have tried to study a bit of the history of Sikkimese dynasty, and my available sources say that Maharaj Kumar in 1911 was Sikkim Turku, an incarnate who was educated in Oxford and who ascended to the Sikkimese throne in the year 1914. Upon receiving this letter, as Hasnatullah, the Wazir Wazarat carried out a detailed study of the family situated in the noble families of Central Ladakh, Koring and Zanskar. The findings of Wazir are recorded in confidential Geo letter number 427, Kargil, dated July 2nd, 1911, which go as under. Dear Sir, with reference to your Geo letter number 48/C, dated June 8, 1911, regarding the desire of the Maharaj Kumar of Sikkim to marry a Buddhist lady of Ladakh, I beg to state that the most respectable family in Buddhist in Ladakh, Zanskar and Puri is the Raja of Stok, whose grandfather Gyapo Kanduk Namgyal was the ruler of Ladakh at the time of conquest. He has no daughter of his own, but his cousin Raja Tashi Lawang of Maso has a grown-up daughter who I should think would be a suitable spouse for the Maharaj Kumar. I therefore sent for the Raja of Stok and Kusum Bakula of Zanskar, who is closely related with the Raja of Maso, to consult about the desired match. I have discussed the matter with them. They say the name of the lady is Simchung Gyalmo Ladon of Maso. The Gyalmo is 16 years of age and is a lady of many refined manner, according to the Tibetan civilization, and is also said to be good looking. The Buddhist era of her birth is called Meta, the fire monkey years. I enclose a slip with full name of the lady and era of her birth written on its Buddhist character. She is illiterate and speaks only mother tongue, the Ladakhi dialect of Tibetan language. No one from among the Ladakhis knows English. Urdu knowing people are also few and far between. She is a lady of unquestionable respectability in Ladakh, but wealth she has not. The only source of her father's income is the small jagir of Mato, granted to him by the state where Raja Tashi Lawang is living a peaceful life. The Kusho Bakula and the Raja of Stok say that they knew absolutely nothing about Maharaj Kumar of Sikkim, nor had they enough means to enter into matrimonial relations with the ruling chiefs. For this reason, they don't know how to start the negotiation. In case it is desired by His Highness the Maharaja Sahib Bahadur that the marriage should be contracted and His Highness has full reliance on the Maharaj Kumar. The Kushok as well as the Raja of Stok will consider in their good fortune to carry out the wishes of His Highness. Even in that case, they will not be able to get through the marriage ceremony in a manner becoming to the dignity and position of the proposed king and bridegroom on their own scanty means and without the help from the state. If this is arranged and His Highness the Maharaj Sahib Bahadur is inclined to think that the proposed marriage is a desirable one, the Kusho Bakula and the Raja of Stok undertake to arrange for the same with Raja Tashi Lawang of Maso. The Raja of Stok on his return to Leh will have the lady photographed and will send the photo to me, which on receipt will be submitted to you. This may be expected within 3 weeks if a photographer is available, otherwise it will take longer time. The Kusho Bakula further asks that if no objection, the full name of the Maharaj Kumar, the Buddhist era of his birth, and particular about his family and character may kindly be communicated to him. As the Kusho Bakula had to be sent for from Zanskar, the reply to your letter could be sent earlier. You are obediently Hakamullah Khan, the Wazir. Okay, I will skip all this letter. There are several of this letter, and I brought photocopies of the whole letter, which I would like to present to the number through Alex. I think you may like to have this photocopy. In realization of the wishes of Maharaj Kumar, the government of India asked the resident to arrange through Ladakh to find out some suitable match for the Maharaj Kumar. In those days, as Hakatullah, later the author of A History of Ladakh, was the Wazir or resident of Ladakh. He was thus well versed in Ladakhi affairs and presented the case tactfully to the Chief Minister Jammu and Kashmir for onward transmission to the government of India. From the letter, it makes clear that the Maharaj Kumar wanted to marry a good-looking young Buddhist lady and sought a photograph belonging to the aristocratic family with proficiency in English. These demands by the Maharaj Kumar must have posed a daunting task to the Wazir to plead the case. Ladakh, being a small district and educationally backward, had no young ladies with proficiency in English. In those days, not a single school of modern science existed in Ladakh. Similarly, no photo studio or professional photographers lived in Leh to make it possible for the resident to obtain the photograph of the nominated lady Shemchung Gyalpo Ladon of Maso to send to the Maharaj Kumar. Therefore, it took the local administration almost 6 months to accomplish the task, and by the time the Maharaj Kumar could get the photo, it was already very late. Okay. Based on the 8 letters, I presented the paper in the 7th seminar of the ISS here in Graz, Australia in the year 1997, and was published in the proceedings of the seminar, so I think all can look to that proceedings. According to Alex McKay's paper entitled The Education of Maharaj Kumar's Sikkim, it appears that prior to the Maharaj Kumar expressing his desire to marry a Ladakhi lady belonging to a respectable family, he had sought when the last of Sikkim, Sugyal Padam Tulu Namgyal, paid the official visit in the year 1972, before he was dethroned and the kingdom became the 22nd state of the Indian Union. His visit was an historical one in the sense that no Himalayan kingdom of such high position had ever paid visit to Ladakh. So, following the tradition, a rousing reception was given to the king by the people and the royal family of Ladakh. Decorated thrones were placed, one for the Ladakhi king Thinesh Namgyal and one for Sikkimese king Sogyal Pantulu Namgyal. The latter was offered the first throne of the row, but instead he decided to be seated next to the Ladakhi king. On inquiry, it was learned that Sikkimese king had given precedence to the Ladakhi king, as the latter was a direct descendant of the Tibetan emperor of Mekitanpo. This episode illustrates the continuing importance of genealogy and historical lineage among the aristocrats of the Himalaya. Among the followers of Tibetan form of Mahayana Buddhism in the region, there is a profound respect for the Tibetan exponent of the religion and also for the Tibetan king. So, to establish their identity, the rulers of various Himalayan kingdoms have emphasized their direct descent from Tibetan king, like Ladakhi, the aristocrat of Sikkim, Mustan in Nepal, and Mons, present-day Arunachal Pradesh. And other kingdoms have claimed their direct descent from these kings. Okay, now come to the conclusion. These letters are very valuable in helping us to understand the socio-economic condition of Ladakh in the early 20th century and the external sentiment of Ladakh as a kingdom expressed by outsiders at that time. Ladakh, being cut off from the rest of the world till recent time, is indeed a difficult place to reach. However, its link with the rest of the country was established only in the year 1948 with the landing of an Indian Air Force aircraft. The plane brought Indian soldiers to protect the land from Pakistani aggression. Ladakh surface link with the Srinagar was established only in the year 1962 after the Sino-India War to reinforce the presence of Indian Army in the area. On the other hand, Sikkim had easy access to the rest of the world even in the early time due to its position on the trade route from the plains of India to Tibet. But the letters gives evidence that even in the early 20th century, Ladakh had a respectable place in the world Himalaya kingdom as a strong basin of Buddhism and Mahayana culture.